activated.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak. Live from Free Cup Studio in Seoul, this is the GSL.
What's up, everybody? It's day 2 of the round of 8 here at the GSL. We are back again. We're all over the place, Artosis.
Yeah, we certainly are.
We're in Korea. We're outside of Korea. We're doing StarCraft 2. We're doing StarCraft 1 tomorrow.
Hey, look, we're basically Schrodinger's casters, okay? We're both alive and dead. We're both in Poland and in Korea at the same time. It's been crazy, though. Look at this bracket, this round of 8. It's insane. Su's going to the finals. Who's going to meet him? I don't know. Well, I mean, he has to beat Stats first, but come on.
It's not going to happen. I am looking forward to potentially another Su final. Then again, Stats in the finals. I'm totally cool with that.
Well, dude, I mean, you look at who's left here. Dark and Maru are two of the people that don't have big... Well, they've won tournaments, but they don't have GSL titles. I guess SOS technically doesn't, even though he's been to the finals a couple times. But like, and then you've got Zest and Stats still sitting around in this tournament, and both of these guys are Protoss champions within GSL. Zest a 2-time, as you can see here. I mean, whatever we get at the end here is going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome.
No matter what happens, we've got it going on.
Yeah,
this first match
we're like
especially.
Stacy's mom, dude. It's crazy.
So, with these two guys,
This is Stacy's GSL, man. That's what this is. It's got it going on.
Yeah, man. This match especially is going to be very cool. I'm curious to see if Dark is going to be able to reassert himself, as we've had some other players like Classic 2.0 coming out now looking fantastic. This could definitely be Zest's year. We're still early on in 2018.
Yeah, I mean, Zest has already looked pretty good this year. Yeah, he didn't win Pyeongchang, but he made it in through very tough qualifiers, so this is, I'm excited. I don't know. I don't care what happens at this point. I'm just a happy guy.
일단 2년 만에 GSL 8강에 이렇게 올랐는데 좀 경기력이 안 좋았었어가지고 힘들게 올라간 것 같은데 그만큼 더 열심히 준비하려고.
한번 뚫어봤기 때문에 별로 소감이랄 것도 없고요. 이제 GSL 징크스는 없는 것 같아요.
박영우 선수랑은 일단 8강 이상 무대에서 좀 만나보고 싶었는데 이번에 만나게 돼서 되게 재밌는 경기 할 수 있을 것 같아요.
괜찮네? 나쁘지 않네? 원래는 좀 쉽네라고 할라 했는데 프로토스라서 괜찮네 정도로. 요새 토스가 너무 세가지고 진짜 어떻게 해야 될지 생각이 너무 많아요. 그냥 토스는 못해도 프로토스예요.
약간 윤수랑 반대되는 게 초중반 컨트롤은 되게 잘하는 것 같긴 하는데 후반 굴락 컨트롤이 좋은 저그라고 생각하기 때문에 모든 걸 감안하면 한 8점? 네, 8점입니다.
토스는 컨트롤할 게 없거든요, 솔직히 말해서. 그냥 누가 잡아도 다 10점 0이에요. 다 만점이에요. 그래서 그거에 대한 불만이 너무 많아요, 제가. 일단 컨트롤을 평가할 그것도 없어요. 평가를 할 수가 없어요, 너무 쉬워서.
저그가 드랍 플레이를 자주 하잖아요. 그래가지고 막 럴퍼 하나씩 막 견제하고 하는 거 보니까 견제력도 좋은 것 같아가지고 견제력도 8점.
제가 이번에 IM 평창 경기를 봤는데 한 0.2 정도? 근데 분광기를 아예 안 뽑으시던데요? 제가 보고 왜 계속 분광기를 안 뽑으시지? 평소에 레더에선 잘 뽑으시는데 왜 대회에서 안 뽑지? 라는 생각을 좀 많이 했던 것 같아요.
다른 거에 비해 좀 딸리는 것 같아가지고 최적화 1점.
토스가 최적화도 쉽거든요. 저한테 왜 최적화 점수 1점 주셨냐면 적은 생각할 게 너무 많아요. 그래서 제가 뭐 다 생각하다 보니까 너무 가난해져가지고 최적화가 안 좋아 보이는 거지, 진짜 저그를 한번 해보시면은 그런 말 안 나와요. 최적화 뭐 어쩐다 저쩐다. 저 정도면 훌륭한 거죠. 최적화는 잘하시는 것 같아요. 잘해서 한 5.5점 정도.
공허의 유선 와서 좀 새로 나온 유닛들을 그래도 잘 쓰는 편인 것 같아가지고 한 8점 드릴게요.
빌드는 진짜 좀 잘 깎으시는 것 같아요. 다른 토스보다 몇 초 빨라가지고. 근데 그것도 어떻게 보면은 좀 정발이거든요. 시간 증폭이 있기 때문에 그렇게 좀 몇 초 깎을 수 있는 거기 때문에 확실히 빌드 깎는 거는 좀 노련하셔서 그런지 6.6점 드리겠습니다.
제가 16강에서 저그전을 좋지 않은 모습 보여드렸는데 이번에 계기로 박영호 선수를 제물로 저그전도 우뚝 설 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
저를 제물로 잘하겠다고요? 저를 잡으면 우승해야지. 아니 우승 후보를 꺾는데 우승한다고 당찬 포부를 말씀하셨어야 되는 거 아니에요? 그 옛날 입만 털던 제가 아니거든요. 이번엔 입과 함께 영혼도 같이 털어드리겠습니다.
Savage, point two.
Point two on
Point two,
harassment.
man.
Wow.
Wow.
How do you even get a point two? Things would have to go wrong. Point two is almost a negative number.
I do like it when the players go a little bit off script on the evaluations of each other.
These have been
great room for trash talk. Look at that, Artosis. Your name's in front of mine, man. You see that?
Names.
Yeah.
Well,
Artosis
look,
first
I've been
time.
lobbying for this for a long time.
Yeah.
We somehow got set up as tasteless and Artosis.
Yeah. Now it's going to be Artosis and Tasteless.
It should be.
Whoa, it feels weird coming out of my mouth.
Yeah. Well, it's been like 7 years of
That
tasteless
sounds
and
just,
Artosis.
it sounds strange coming out of
my turn
my
for the next
sound
7
hole.
years.
It's
Yeah,
in my face.
That is.
The sound hole in my face
Well,
doesn't like that.
That's
Artosis
definitely what I
Tasteless.
call it, is your sound hole.
Yeah.
It's like.
You have to master your sound hole when you're casting a game like StarCraft.
Well, that's what people are always saying. Like, oh, damn, I love that cast with Artosis and that sound hole next to him.
That sound hole making sure that G's bounce off the wall just correctly enough in the studio to make these games hype. Our players are now joining into the lobby, so we're going to be starting this up right away. You were saying that Zest should take, or you think he's going to take this, not that he should take this.
I think
that was what he said word for word, and now you're here lying in front of all these people.
Here I am lying. Because I never want to have a different opinion. I mean, Dark should be favored here, I would say, but I think Zest can take it. He's been a little bit lackluster in some tournaments for the last year and a half or so, but he's also had some good results. He's still one of the very best Protoss in the world. That's never actually changed. Anyone who thinks it's changed, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. Get out of here. Don't talk to me. Don't at me on Twitter. I don't want to hear from you.
Correct.
Yeah, but he can do it. Will he do it? Dark is like as good or better than every other Zerg in the world. He's a brilliant player. Right now, we do see a pretty decent win rate from Zergs against Protoss. In the pro scene, we've seen the Zergs just generally doing a bit better than the Protosses in this matchup lately. Yeah. But the thing is, if you're off at all as Zerg, then you can just die instantly. Like, off at all, man. And that's, like Dark was saying, Zest is very quick. Like, he will put together his builds, and he will bring it, and he will do it quickly. He will execute it very well. He jokes about all Protoss 710 on micro. No, it's true for Zest. Like, his execution on his attacks is brutal. So he has a chance here.
I feel like there's no Zerg player that's better at taking a pummeling than Dark.
Yeah.
He can be up on the ropes. He can be rocked through most of the game, and he will eventually come back.
He's the best since Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
Yeah.
Remember that Zerg, man? He just, like, he'd have, like, no... He'd be on one base with
he was the Bruce Willis and Die Hard of the Zergs, just bleeding to death through the whole movie.
I miss Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready. This is game one. Let's go.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak.
Jesus, I'm feeling so much better today than last night. Oh my god.
Dude, I was so tired.
Difference
I
in
was
night mates.
so tired.
Zest.
But I slept until like 6:30 a.m. or so this morning. I feel fantastic.
Yeah, I popped right up at about maybe 8. Feeling good. Last night was a rough one, though, for sure.
Dark.
I'm very excited to see, you know, what these two actually have planned for each other. Well, that's kind of an interesting scout path now, isn't it? Tasteless.
I think you're right, Artosis. You know, it looks almost like it's looking for proxies, but it's not checking everywhere for
It's going to be a proxy, isn't it?
I think so. I thought initially he was just kind of trying to go out.
20 years being a StarCraft fan from Chile. Me as well, Tasteless, you as well.
That's right.
We've been loving StarCraft a long time. Yeah.
We were playing, that means you were playing back with dial-up. Fuck that.
I literally played StarCraft on Battle.net with a 14.4 modem.
Yeah.
And then a 28.8 and then a 36.6.
There's a little cheerful here for Zest.
Little Zest fan there. But aren't all of us a little bit of a Zest fan?
I think that's fair to say. Yeah. No, man, playing with dial-up, your mom picks up the phone. It's brutal.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're past that.
No, it was...
What was your service provider? Was it AOL?
No, it was not AOL. I didn't, like... I remember we were trying to figure out how to get internet, right? And my next-door neighbor, they had like a Macintosh computer, and they got internet before me by a long time. So I had gone over to his house, and they used AOL. And I used AOL at his house, and I was like, oh... The internet's cool. And the thing is, I thought AOL and the internet were completely different. So I was like, really? I want to get AOL. And
I thought AOL was the internet when I first got it as a kid. I remember just being on that.
Well, I thought there were two completely different things.
I remember clicking on the AOL games thing. I'm like, games. And it's just like, these aren't games. What is this?
But we ended up not getting AOL. And I was very disappointed. I believe we were on AT&T the whole time.
Wow. Yeah, I remember...
Until, of course, the wonderful company called Comcast came around.
Oh, yeah, they're certainly the Google of our era.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Never been such a great company. I feel like Comcast should make an airline. I think...
oh, that's pretty good, Artosis. That's pretty savage. Imagine Comcast Airlines.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
That customer service? Oh.
Yeah. You admit that was where United would feel like first class.
Just thinking about Comcast doing customer service on an airline. Oh, man.
I feel like you would get punched in the mouth when you get your ticket, because already trying to get through the airlines in the U.S. is just a complete disaster.
Yeah.
By the way, it looks like we're going to have about 3 kills. I think he could have actually gotten some more drones. He's not targeting.
This was well, we haven't talked about it. Obviously, there's a proxy hatchery, and that's not because he wants to mine minerals over there.
You don't think so?
The shade in was super important.
Yeah.
I'm liking where we're at right now. Like this is a pretty crazy build from Dark. Notice how he has the spore and he's pushing creep. But the fact that those two adepts actually shaded up and got a little bit of damage and kind of got Zest to know what's going on is so important, because the Oracle comes back with a lot of energy. He's making his wall. This is all important.
He should not lose the Ravager!
Oh, no, he should not lose that Ravager. You're right about that.
God!
Ooh.
Oh, my God, it lives.
It does, but...
Okay, you should lose it now.
To live? No, it will not.
Okay, now the Queen being targeted. The Spore not quite planted here. You know, I said the damage is actually being sort of split here, which is a little bit favorable for Zest. Both the Oracle and the... Void Ray are still in the game.
He's making more Voids. And look, the actual active tumor died, which is incredibly important because the Spore can't get any closer. So, I mean, Zest is certainly in a good position, isn't he?
Well, we'll see in a minute.
Multiple
shield
batteries with Voids?
The fact that the Spore is not there means that every Void Ray that's incremented out is going to be super important. Oh, man, and now actually the Void Ray trying to kite backwards. Not even kite, I guess, just run away. Still, though, the gateway getting softened up. So every passing minute that this Wallen for the Protoss lasts, the Zerg is in a worse position.
Yeah, like, Dark isn't doing anything right now but trying to win. Look at this. He lost another active tumor. This is an important thing.
That was like a poor moment to even send the tumor out. I mean, the Void Rays easily. You don't even have to do anything.
I almost feel like
target it.
Yeah, you should maybe like move it to the left there. Like any more creep you get can be useful. But look, 3 Voids, a 4th on the way. Like this is getting pretty difficult for Dark to actually break through.
Well,
but
you have to keep in mind the Ravagers aren't even really functional anti-air. You know, even though their vials hit air, this is not like. Even I'd say a lower tiered player than these two guys should be able to avoid that. Really, the vials are there to try to crack open the entrance. So, I mean, really the air dominance is keeping Zerg pretty effectively zoned out.
And Dark said he has 10 out of 10 micro, right? So it's not like he's going to get hit by those biles.
Very true. You know, I will say, I think there is going to be a key moment where Zerg is going to pounce.
Yeah.
You can see that by the fact that Zerg is not making any drones right now. The spores are going to come up. And this actually still has some viability. I mean, even though there's Void Rays being made constantly, the Queens are continuing to be pumped out. And spores comboed with Queens will be, I think, able to maybe bust this.
Now, the Void Rays are doing a lot of work here. There are, with 4 Queens and 4 Spores, 7 Ravagers ago. I mean, this is a deadly rush. There's no question about that. I mean, with how much Zest has, if he dies to this, I'm not playing ladder for a week, man. Like, yeah, this is going to be just brutal.
It's working. I mean, Protoss is dumping a lot of minerals on batteries, which I think is a necessity, but I think it may actually be just a matter of time before he busts in. The Void Rays are beginning to lose equity here.
Does Zest know he can heal buildings with batteries? Because, like, he's losing all these batteries with super high health.
Yeah.
And super high mana on them as well. It's like, well, oh, that would be a smooth pickoff right there.
Whoa! Whoa! What is that? Whoa! I've never seen a bile.
Now we know like how the dinosaurs went extinct for real.
Yeah, that was. I could recreate that on MS Paint perfectly now. The way those biles look. So, I think actually Dark still wins this Artosis.
It seems that way, but there's so many voids.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
How does this?
Apparently this still works. Pretty cool stuff.
I'm in shock. Like, I feel like Zest should have been able to hold this. He had all this intel. He had all these voids.
He's not quite got the spores close enough to the Nexus where it's... Well, actually, I think the Queens are still going to do the work. What a weird rush. How cool.
Is there some way...
Pushing with spores at the natural expansion for Zest.
He's still got a lot of econ. Like, doesn't he have a ton of gates?
He should.
He has like 6 gates or something.
This is kind of funny. Now, when the Void Rays come up here, I think this actually allows the Nexus to 100% go down, right?
Yeah, the Nexus will go down. But it's not like Dark is sitting on some sick economy. He's on 16 drones. Yeah, even if the Nexus goes down, that doesn't necessarily mean he loses. Like, his voids could go across the map. We could see a base trade, but he doesn't have a probe out, so I think he would lose.
Well, I think once the spores get here, if I'm seeing this correctly, I think once the spores are up close, the Lings and the Queens and the Ravagers are just going to be doing too much damage.
Oh, man. The transfuses are just
I mean, this really highlights how powerful of an anti-air a spore really is. When you actually have to fight, I mean, so many Void Rays can be taken out.
But look at this, with this many Stalkers in the Voids, man, like, it's still doable for Zest.
Well, he needs another wave of Lings. When the Lings are there, the Stalkers are not as strong in the fight.
Yeah, there's quite a few, man.
If it's just Stalkers versus Ravagers and Queens, that's a more even battle, but this Nexus is almost out of shields.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. This is a crazy game, though. I think Spore should be moved to layer attack, if you ask me.
The Lings are coming forward now. It's only 4 Stalkers remaining. And I believe this is going to be taken out. I feel like I actually called this a little bit too soon, but I didn't realize this fight was going to go on for, I think, nearly 6 minutes here.
It's so weird. What a weird game.
Yeah.
The Queens just keep gaining energy. Like, I'm scared that he hasn't pounced on anything. Oh, that red void right in the front. Oh, it goes down. Oh.
Okay, more Lings coming.
Do Spores still need to burrow that quickly? I mean, I know they've needed to for a bit with the Liberators and all, but come on.
Okay, Nexus halfway in HP here. Again, the Stalker number just so low. Every time the Lings, any of them, manage to get forward here. And I think, it's only 2 batteries here in the upper right.
I think that's the last transfuse for now. I feel like there was maybe a point in this that Zest could have moved in a bit quicker.
Dude, that's so
my
sick.
God. Well, he's so busy microing with his 10 out of 10 micro here that 2 Lings have destroyed most of his economy in the main base.
I have to say, this has been a cliffhanger of a fight.
He's actually going to end up holding this, I guess, right? There's like no units left.
But I think the question is, does he keep the Nexus? And it's like got 1 HP here.
It's hard to imagine that staying alive. It's got 11. Oh,
okay, so the Nexus goes down. Now, Barrett, yep, that's it. GG.
Okay.
With the minerals basically mined out in the main, the Nexus goes down. That's all Dark has to do to win.
Well, that rush just happened there. That was really cool. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen something quite like that, like pushing the creep up to get the spores there. It did feel, though, right? Because, like, there were a few times he jumped on spores and stuff, and there was some buildings that he just kept letting die. And, like, for instance, I watched 2 shield batteries next to each other, one after another go down with, like, full energy. And you can, like, heal those up, right? And just, like, make him use more bile rounds, buy yourself more time to get more stuff out. Huh.
You could really see the impact of losing the hatchery. That really slowed the momentum of the rush down. Having one less production facility just adjacent to the rush itself, pretty huge.
I'm super surprised that killed him. Because it felt like he had the right stuff.
Well, when you consider that the spore was denied, I'm sorry, not the spore, the crit tumor was denied, so the spores couldn't move forward. That shows you how overall strong the Zerg rush actually is, because I thought Zest had won once that was slowed down, but apparently not.
Yeah.
So you guys know what to do on the ladder. No Protosses are going to have a good week this time around.
No, that's
you know what to do. Third bases are 4 rushes, Artosis.
I'm opening Robo first this week.
It used to be in the meta, people took a third base to mine from it.
GSL
Not anymore.
Season
He didn't
1
mind from his natural either.
What are you doing? That third base isn't close to its expansion.
Zest.
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 Dark.
Okay. Wow. That was a really interesting rush, though.
Cool way to open it up.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, I felt like every time he dived on the spores, there was another transfuse. How many times? Like, 3-4 times he went on a spore, really kind of committed to it, took a bunch of damage, and then a transfuse came out, and he was like, oh, time to run away.
You know, brushes like that are so cool because the Zerg doesn't get, the Protoss doesn't really get to do what was planned out. Super tilty to start things off. This time, Zest with the initiative plants the pylon to deny the second base, so Zest is going to go move that second base to where the third base would ideally be. Whoa, look at that.
What is this? It's the door to Tastes' house.
That's exactly what it looks like. Mouth and everything.
It's the elevator.
That was pretty good. Well done. All right, well, it looks like we're in for a more ordinary game this time around.
Well, probably. I mean, Dark did get the quick speed. This isn't like... Dark does this into macro games plenty, so it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get cheesy, but he could. He might want to utilize those Overlord drops before they go up to layer tech, and Zerglings never get dropped again.
Stargate is the build of choice now. See that coming up here.
Yeah, not too surprised about that, especially with the speed first.
I am honestly curious to see how Zest holds up in a more macro game against Dark, because I really, for all the really smart aggro stuff, or like that pretty cool all-in from Dark in Game 1, he really is phenomenal in late game. Like, he really knows
Dark?
how... Dark, yes.
Yeah.
And I do wonder what a late game with Dark versus Zest would be like. Now, in my mind's eye, I imagine it's actually pretty brutal. I don't think Zest can survive it, but...
I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
Like, if we do get up to, like, full ultimate techs, I think that becomes very difficult for Zest to match against Dark. Zest is more of, like, a mid-game type of guy.
Sure.
He's, you know, we don't really think of him as a rusher, but all his stuff is so smooth that he'll just, like, kill you.
Yeah.
You know, he'll have all the right units at the right time and just be able to knock you out before you get into that super late game. Now, Black-Pink is definitely a map that we see go to the late game quite often. So who knows? Who knows, Stasis? I'm not an Oracle. I don't know.
Yeah. I think even the Oracles don't know this time around. Because they're not fortune tellers, they just shoot lasers.
That's true.
Yeah. Not even for that long. If you
It's
really
an upgraded
map it out.
unit, really, to be honest.
It is.
Where do you think
But that's
this guy's
okay.
an Oracle of?
Huh? Well, let's find out with how many drones he gets. Oh, getting the creep tumor. That was a plot twist in this game. Yeah.
Look at that. It's actually a pretty reasonable Oracle.
Yeah, I mean, I would say doing a lot with very little that you could do in that position down there.
Yeah. This guy's Phoenix out, the second Oracle on the way here. +1 melee on the way for Dark, but Zest does have the 3 gates, so, you know, he's going to be able to make a decent amount of units here, take his 3rd base, if that's where he wants to go next. I would imagine it is.
Yeah, so at least for now, everything looking very, very normal for our PvZ.
Yeah.
A couple of adepts coming out now. We do see Baitling Tech coming here. I think actually Zest is going to try to poke in.
Yeah. It's a very solid amount of adepts out there right now.
It's not something you see every time. A lot of times the adepts stay back to try to make sure that Lings don't get this this Nexus. There's not a ton of Lings out here, so I don't believe this is going to be a problem.
Yeah, he's forcing a decent amount of Lings out right now as well, and in fact, Zest is just walking home, right? He shows 5 adepts, and he actually forces a ton of Lings. Look how many Lings are being made.
I think it was 22 before some hatched.
Oh my god.
And actually, yeah, this is a great play by Zest. This is like, honestly, this is like quintessential solid Protoss for Zerg we're seeing here from Zest. He forced a lot of Lings out without really engaging the ground. He got Zerg in a position where he could dive on the main, take out, I think it was 5 drones. Yeah, sorry, it's right on the screen, 5 drones. And I mean, this is great, but keep in mind, Dark really is somebody who can take a lot of hits early on and still get into the late game as if nothing had ever happened.
You know, I've been spoiled by all these events we've been doing overseas because I'm like, can we check if he has a layer?
Yeah,
but
we don't wear the pants around here when it comes to getting the observer to look at what we want. We're tethered to the Korean stream.
But yeah,
I love that power trip though. When I'm at IEM, I'm like, go to all the bases. Yeah. Now go down. Can I get a shot of the main? Yep, that's
Mapu. Do what I say.
Mapu, follow my orders.
But yeah, okay. So there's not a layer out.
Yeah,
the layer just starting. So I see nothing wrong with the position here of Zest. Doesn't it look great?
Yeah, he's already got Immortals coming out now.
He's got
the Templar Archives.
Good damage. There's like, without the layer, you're not really afraid of anything unless it's a Spore Crawler push, right?
Whoa! Whoa. That's how you cast a play like that. Whoa! Whoa, he got the shields!
A lot of Lings.
That was like the fuggliest attack I've ever seen because the shields kind of slowed down the Banes, but it wasn't like... That's not going in Zest's highlight reel, guys.
Yeah, the force fields were
not
you know. Exactly perfect.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It's going to get up into Archons and everything. You know, it's kind of like an older layer time. A lot of people are going for quicker layer than what we see right here.
Yeah.
This is just kind of relatively late. He's already taken some drone damage. So, I mean, Zest is just kind of getting everything that he wants to get at the moment. He's going to be able to make some Archons here. A ton of gates on the way. Might even see an attack out of him. Oh, okay. So this is a much older style that we're actually seeing here out of Dark to actually commit into Roach play as opposed to Hydra. Yeah, it's so funny. There's so many people that try to trap Lings with force fields. Like, no, it never works.
Well, Lings are like the slipperiest unit.
They're one-dimensional.
Yeah,
is the crazy part. Force fields actually don't stop Zerglings. Just like, they don't break them like Ultras, but they get through them every time.
It is easier to catch a fish with your bare hands, Artosis, than to get Lings actually trapped with force fields.
Yeah. So the move out by Zest, you know, the Roaches obviously can stop something like this. He's going to have to make quite a few Immortals. But yeah, this is like a very old type of style, like Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager. And it was like pretty strong, but Protoss got very good against it. You make a lot of Archons and some Immortals and stuff. Obviously you have some charge lots, but you get into Psystorm. And you're just kind of fine against it. We'll see where Dark goes from here, though.
Okay, big warp in here in the main.
Yeah.
And this is actually pretty sick because the Warp Prism, where it's positioned, it can easily get back to that 4th base and hit over there. The Lings are coming up and it's sort of staggered the way they're approaching it. Some of the Zealots are splitting out like as if they were Marines. The hatchery's going to go down. Zest is killing it this game.
Yeah. This is pretty brutal. Killing off that 4th base. And I mean, this attack in the main base, it's fine to lose all those Zealots. I guess he didn't really do that much, but he drew the army up and allowed himself a kill. Dark is taking a new 4th, but Zest is still sitting tight on his 3.
Well, I don't even think Zest has to commit if he doesn't want to. He's going to basically stay out here, wait and see if that base is going to be reacquired. It should be noted that actually way south of this, Dark is taking not just 1 but 2 bases. But this is really impressive play here from Zest. Now, with all that said and done, I still think Dark has a shot of winning this game. He's actually still just kind of growing at an unreal rate. You know, the fact that he lost that base and lost several fights, is now getting Archon harassed, and still is kind of ahead of him in supply.
Yeah.
It's really something else. So
he's going up to Hive, so he can get into the types of units that can
listen,
make a big difference.
If Dark was a late game unit, he would be an Ultralist. Okay? Now here's what's even crazier. Try to imagine, how does an Ultralist play StarCraft? It has tusks. That's it.
When he tries to use those tusks to hit a button, it hits like all the buttons around it because it has splash damage.
Yeah, but Dark is not just any Ultralisk. He's like the Ultralisk that paints.
Oh, like the gorilla that paints?
I was thinking of elephants, actually, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
He dips his tusk into a little bit of paint.
Yeah.
And draws how he feels about War Prisms warping into his main.
He doesn't feel too good about it, that's for sure.
No, he's not, yeah.
Said he had
Are there gorillas that paint?
Yeah, of course there's gorillas that paint.
I guess, yeah.
Did you ever watch the movie Congo?
Oh, yeah, with that.
Amy.
Amy the gorilla that talks with a...
Amy want cream drop drink.
It looks like one of those, what's that, Power Glove from Nintendo?
Yeah.
Mother.
That was great.
What do you mean, Amy? Oh, I get it. Africa is your mother.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's the worst movie I've ever seen.
No, it's a great movie. What are you talking about?
No. Actually, no, Congo.
The city of Singe.
Yeah.
All right. We have attacks actually all over the place right now. These Archons kind of buying a bit of time. A few Banelings get through, but Zest might be able to get a pick off here while harassing the main base.
Okay. Really nice force fields here. They're not quite tight, though, so some of the Lings and Banelings spill in, but there's still the meat of the Immortals and Archons is here. And I think at this point in time, Dark getting hit pretty hard on 2 different fronts. Oh, nice. Actually targeting down the Spire. That's a big kill. Yeah.
And the Spire's actually very late. If you want to go into Broodlords, you start the Spire at the same time as the Hive. But, I mean, a lot of things have been happening. Ends out up. He doesn't actually kill that base. I thought for sure he'd be able to get that hatchery. In fact, if he had right-clicked it, he would have. The prism's gone. That's
kind of crazy that Dark took a beating like that, but still did not actually lose the hatcheries.
He continues to kick Tasteless even after that lick.
That's right. You know, I have to say, I think the next follow-up attack might be problematic, though, for Dark, if Zest can actually amass the right amount of units. Because Dark is still, economically, he's limping through this game.
Yeah, Dark, well...
What? What, is that like the Adept that's on a diet, or Zealot on a diet there?
Oh, my gosh. Well, I told you, these are one-dimensional Zerglings.
Yeah.
But you know what? Dark actually has a sick amount of drones right now, 73 over 5 bases. So he's going to be able to remass very, very well. He's got strong upgrades. He's even got Adrenal. This is good stuff for him. Getting that +3. Anytime he attacks one of these bases, if he gets any Banelings in the mineral lines, he's just going to destroy the economy of Zest very quickly.
So, Zest is beginning to push out, and we've actually seen a flip here as far as supplies go. Now the Banelings are coming in, and it looks like they're actually not going to connect on any of these probes, and this might be an attack that's going to really cost Dark here, because this is a lot of gas that didn't really do much this game.
That was a super solid recall, because the thing is, Dark could have split his Banes. Obviously, he's doing a lot of things right now, but a split of Banes there might have killed that whole economy. At that base, at least. Now, good harassment once again here. With the Immortal and the Zealots, he can actually end up killing a lot of buildings.
Yeah, looks like the pool's going to go down. That's going to be it.
Wow.
GG. Zest takes game 2.
That was kind of a cool game. Really all over the place.
Well, that was Zest showing that he actually can have a pressure-style play and take out someone like Dark.
Yeah, and in fact, he can make Warp Prisms and harass.
By the way, any other Zerg player in the world dies a lot faster than that. Dark is able to hang on.
Yeah.
Dark is truly Bruce Willis. He's walking on broken glass. He's got his arm in a sling. He's still taking out a whole bunch of bad Russian dudes, though. Was that Die Hard 1 with the bad Russian dudes?
The Die Hard 1, you mean the Christmas movie?
It's the one where they're in the building, right?
Yeah,
Die Hard 2 is
Die Hard
in the
1.
airport.
That's Die Hard 1.
Die Hard 3 is all over the city of New York.
I love Die Hard 3. What a
Die
great
Hard 3 is
movie
great. That was, yeah.
Die Hard with a Vengeance is what it's called.
Right.
Not Die Hard 3.
That's right. What am I talking about?
Jeez, tasteless.
Wow.
Well, this has been a couple of cool games so far, at least. Yeah. I bet you Dark is really regretting saying that he has 0.2 harass and he doesn't make warp prisms. Probably Zest is like, oh, that's what I was screwing up on. So he just keeps making warp prisms for his Dark. He's like, oh, that works really well.
Hey.
Thank you, Dark. Thank you, buddy. Jeez.
I accidentally educated him with my trash talk.
Yeah.
Rats.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak.
Okay, someone Shazam that song and tweet it to me, please. That was sick. It's one of our better songs to open up. That was a Game 3 song.
Zest.
That was a good song.
You don't play that song before Game 5, but Game 3, that's exactly.
Well, this is Game 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
You and BK agree on that.
We agree on most things, Artosis.
Dark.
Do you agree on using Nickelback sometimes in the GSL?
Yeah, dude. Do it.
I do too.
Put it out there.
I want to be a rock star.
I'm at that age where I really don't care if you don't think my music's cool. I don't care. Although I don't.
Well, you're wrong
listen.
too.
I don't
right?
actually
Because,
listen to Nickelback, but if they want to put Nickelback in the show, whatever. No one's going to stop us.
People are just jealous, man. What?
Yeah.
You guys wish
Why
you
is
had
it
one
actually,
beat and made every song.
Although I'm not a fan of the band, it's a genuine question here. Why are they unpopular?
I think it's because their songs generally all go to the same tune, basically, like the same rhythm.
But
or something
is that unique?
Someone told me
that unique to Nickelback? Because there's a lot of
I don't know
bands.
I've always liked them though.
Because it just seems like it's trendy to hate. Whenever things get trendy to hate on, I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like that's
No, I totally agree with you on that.
I think on anything that's not like, well, obviously, you should hate on that, like that.
What's something obvious that you should hate on, though?
The Martin Shiriki or whatever his name is, the pharmaceutical guy.
That guy's in prison now, isn't he?
Isn't he? I don't know.
Yeah, he is in prison, I'm pretty sure. The guy that, made drugs for sick people cost too much? That guy, right?
Even though I think that's, a lot of what the pharmaceutical industry is.
Yeah,
but
so
he's someone that you're like, okay, I could easily hate on that. But with, a band
Sure.
like Nickelback, I'm like, I'm not actually sure. Maybe I'm, out of the loop, but if you don't like it, just don't listen to it.
Well, you're
How about
certainly
that?
out of the loop, but that's okay.
Not only that, I'm out of touch. Okay? I don't even know how much milk costs, Artosis.
Actually, here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
I could probably take a reasonably educated guess, and I buy milk. My
But
family
you gotta
does
check the
consume
price,
some amount,
yeah.
but I actually don't look at the price. I know that I can buy milk and not think about it.
Yeah, this is Artosis and I have had this conversation off camera that we want to make enough money that we don't even know how much milk costs. Who was the politician who got in trouble for that?
Like a lot of them,
Someone's
actually.
like, families can't even afford to get milk, and then some reporter's like, how much does milk cost? And he's like, $20 or something. Doesn't make any sense.
So funny.
Okay, so the Stargate almost done. Are we going to see a pressure game here from Zest? I certainly hope so. He looks really solid. I actually did not, before the series started, I did not expect for Dark to lose a game that would look like that.
Yeah?
I always thought you had to kind of play around that in a ZVP against someone like Dark.
Well, I mean, Dark was holding out pretty well as well. I was surprised just the style used there also. By the way, quite a few lings being made.
Whoa.
Quite a few lings. Hey, and he actually is picking off a few of those.
Well, let's keep in mind in the last game, Zest went with a lot of pressure, which means that the Nexus pack that was being created for the third base was neglected. So maybe he's thinking about pouncing on that.
Okay, he sees... it's not like an overwhelming amount of lings, but that's more lings than you need to deal with 2 Adepts. Dark does kill those Adepts and has some map control at this point, but with the Oracle out, we'll see where Zest can get some damage. Not too much.
Okay, so a little bit of a... Oh, this is big.
Jeez.
This is sometimes all it takes to throw a Protoss off.
Well, he has an Oracle about to pop out, so he should be able to deal with this. But Dark, I mean, this is some damage at least.
Oh my God! And the Adept coming up here to try to stop this is eliminated. Okay, so as long as the Lings can avoid the Oracle for enough time, then it's going to run out of energy, and then he can go back to trying to hit the probes.
He's going to do it! Oh, it's out of energy!
All right.
That was good running.
It is funny how much damage you can do even with just one Ling. If your opponent isn't that attentive.
Well, luckily it's not StarCraft 1 or this game would be over.
Oh, yeah, no. StarCraft
That
1
one's
certainly. And I'm
really-
like, well, this is going to be at least 8 more probes that I lose before I'm going to stop this. And when I finally do stop it, then Hydra's bust my my natural, and I'm like, okay. I guess you're better than me.
A couple Stalkers being warped in right now. Third Nexus on the way. He's going after all the Overlords. That's what's going on.
That's what's happening in this game, Artosis.
I'm going to get
He's going to get all of them.
If I get all the Overlords, he won't have any supply.
He's going to have to spend more money making Overlords instead of stuff that he really wanted to make. We saw the gold base being taken, which should force the Protoss to do something. Normally you can't, I would say, in theory, you can't just play a passive game when a Zerg takes a gold.
Ooh, 2 Spores.
Yeah.
3 Oracles don't want to fight 2 Spores, that's for sure. And look at all these Zerglings coming over here, man.
Well,
might be able to force a cancel.
This is what I was talking about earlier, is that sometimes Zest seems like he's aggressive enough that actually the Nexus might not have the defense it actually needs. I think if the Oracles go back, though, ironically, the defense was so good against the Oracles, they're going to have enough energy to kill Lings at the third.
That's true. He should have let him kill all of his drones, and then he'd be able to get that Nexus.
Yeah, and that's how you win a Code S level game.
That's real play.
That's, that's worthy of an esports news article to be written about.
Yeah. The strategies of Dark.
You ever thought that, like, the fact that we cast the GSL and we have, like, sort of a unique power to inform people of StarCraft is, what if we just had a cast where we just decided to say everything wrong?
You know that there's nerds out there like, you do that already? Tasteless. Isn't that what you've been doing for 7 years? I'm like, listen, Diamond 1 NA user.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. I was thinking of, like, but having the fake newscast,
Yeah.
completely miscalling everything. We even go so far as to say that Zerglings have spells these players aren't using. Because there's always random people on Twitch that sort of end up in this channel and don't know what's going on.
Yeah, sure.
They're probably spamming, why don't they talk about the game?
We're definitely doing that.
We have a chance to really just give them false information,
It's my dream. So Dark has a gold base. His Lings really have control of this game right now. He's getting Baneling speed +2 melee and going up to Hydra tech. So it seems to me that Dark is going to be in a pretty decent space. Like I especially like Hydra Bane attacks on that third base. It's a little bit hard to defend in there, I feel.
Okay. Dark with actually a lot of pressure. A lot more than I think we'd see from most Zergs. Really going at with the Lings.
Yeah.
When the Hydras do come out, particularly with a gold base, Hydra Bane is really powerful. Since it's mostly just minerals that you're needing to spend. And with the gas you have, you're already going to have a healthy amount of Hydras. So we're going to see if Dark can actually put any pressure on here. He'll probably macro up a little bit more.
Well, the Storm might be a little bit late as the Temple Archives is just now finishing up. So
yeah.
I'm sure he'll Chrono Boost that Storm out as quickly as possible. But the very first Hydra Bane attack can be very, very tough. He has a couple High Templars. Yeah, it looks like about 3 right now, already kind of sitting around trying to gain some energy. See how quickly Dark wants to attack. But Dark's economy is going to be pretty out of control having that gold base up already. And look at his worker count. 74 workers. Taking his 5th. Jeez.
I think that there's nothing scarier in Zerg play than when Dark takes the 5th base.
Yeah.
All right, it's on.
And there hasn't really been that much damage, like a few drones here and there.
Yeah.
But mostly Dark has stayed in control with his Zerglings across the map. He's forced the Oracles to be home a whole lot. He did that double spore in the main. It's like, do you still have 2 spores?
I was thinking that when I saw
he still has 2 spores, Zest. Go home.
You definitely still can't attack there. So I think we're about to get to the climax as far as macro goes. In this game, we should see, especially with Baneling's morphing now, that's usually an indicator that Zest is going to try to attack in here.
Yeah.
And I think why not attack down at this 4th base? It's not even done being made.
Yeah, this split on the army isn't going to do it. Like, that set of units that Zest has as his 4th doesn't beat anything that we see on the map for Dark.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like 3 Immortals, 3 Zealots, and a Sentry or something. It's like, well, okay, join this stuff together. He needs the Psystorm desperately badly. Okay, that was the sickest Stasis Ward ever.
Handsome points, but it's not enough. This is so much Zerg.
Oh my god.
Ah!
Okay,
All
well,
the Templars dying to Banelings. That's ideally how it's supposed to go down if you're a Zerg player.
yeah. The 3 High Templars dying to the Banes. This game is as close to over as it can be without having GG out there.
Yep, I think we're going to see him tap out. This is why Dark is the scariest late game player in the world.
Well, that was
In the galaxy!
that in the galaxy. That was well, that strategy in general is what has been around for quite some time, and it's very, very good on this map as well. It's hard to split all your units correctly, and when you miss that, it's like you miss one little force field right there, and the Banelings are able to kill 3 High Templars. That's 3 less Psystorms. Even with the 3 Psystorms, I think he's dead there, but without them, like, wait, what? Like,
I think we're going to have to see potentially more aggressive play, more pressure play from Zest. I think that was just too much of a passive game. You can't let the Zerg take a gold base and you don't react to it. And that was basically, to sum up that game, even though the end game fight was really cool and Dark rolled him over, you especially against Dark, if the gold base is taken, do something.
yeah.
And do it fast, because Dark is going to get way too many units.
Okay.
What do you think of that shirt? You like those stripes on the arms? I dig it.
Yeah.
Little Beetlejuice-esque.
That's okay. That's all right.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, game number 4, Zest vs. Dark.
I'm standing till I hit the floor. My legs start losing all control. Let's do this mother, yeah. Do this mother, let's go. Break me down, but I don't fold. There's madness in this burning soul. Let's do this mother, yeah. Do this mother, let's go. It's killing me, but the poppers are thrilling me. Adrenaline junkie, but it's keeping me hungry. Lands a swift left hook, but I'm taking a punch or two, so I can take a view from you. And we all get down and we all get high, 'cause everybody.
A prolonged one-man duel. And then 4 months passed. Now it's our turn to laugh. ASL Season 5 Turnaround. (2018) GSL Season 1 Code S Daybreak. Daybreak. Live from Free Cup Studio in Seoul, this is the GSL.
Ooh, listen to the voice in the song. Yeah, that's really that's cool. Imagine casting in a voice like that.
You know what this is, actually?
What?
They just like remastered my voice and sped it up when I was complaining about Protoss on my stream. If you really slow that down, it's just Protoss. These guys are playing a different game, man.
Oh, man. My take on this series so far is I think Dark's going to crush through here. I think Zest showed, I think, one of the best games we've ever seen from him, honestly, in Game 2.
He's a two-time GSL champion. And that was, you think that was one of the best games we've ever seen?
Yeah, I actually do. Yeah, I thought that was really impressive to take Dark down like that in Game 2. But Game 3 was, I think, way too passive. He's submitted to the Zerg in Game 3. So let's see what he does here on Abyssal Reef. One of our best maps in StarCraft 2. If there's any map he could take it, I think this would be the one.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak. Zest.
No, Abyssal Reef. It's like a map we always go late on.
Pretty much.
It's super hard to kill someone here. It's so easy to get 4 or 5 bases.
Well, I think it can bring a lot of different games, you know. I think, generally speaking, the very best maps in RTS are usually really uniquely designed one-on-one maps.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the history, I think it's important to have maps with multiple starting locations, because that can bring, in some cases, a wide variety of games. But like when I think of the best StarCraft, like let's actually talk outside of StarCraft 2. I think it's StarCraft 1, for instance, one of the best maps ever made, Destination.
Yeah,
that map is so cool, and there's so many things you can do with it.
Yeah.
In part because it's a one-on-one map, you know. And I think Abyssal Reef, I think we didn't expect it to be such a good map, but after having so many games on it,
it's the flow of it's really great.
You don't really hear people complain about it either.
Generally not, no.
And that's pretty impressive in RTS, where it's a genre where everybody complains about everything all the time.
Well, one of my favorite maps right now, in general, to watch, to play everything, Neon Violet Square. Really enjoying that one. It's like, it reminds me of Abyssal in some ways. I like how it, like, you know, you can take that back pocket base, but you kind of are penalized because it has less mineral patches, right? And then the squares themselves are like really cool. I want to see more things like that in StarCraft 2 maps, where it's like, oh, this is a very different terrain feature. And we even see, like, we saw someone get punished yesterday, losing an additional stalker, trying to run through there. Because, like, they overcommitted. It's like,
it has to
normally you'll get away, but not here.
Serpentine through it to get away. By the way, speaking of cool maps, and a little plug for our next season, starting tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
ASL is back, and we have a crazy map. I think it's possibly the craziest map we've seen in a long time in RTS.
It is literally...
Sparkle is just...
We have an actual island map in ASL, in StarCraft 1 tomorrow. And to put this in perspective, guys, there hasn't been an island map in a professional league in StarCraft 1 in 15 years. because it's like impossible to balance because Zerg gets wrecked on islands so hard. But they have come up with some new crazy map-making things that give Zerg an extra gas. The other two races can't mine from the gas. Only Zerg can, because that's how weird Brood War is.
Yeah. You have to see it to actually
We'll
get
explain it all tomorrow. But anyways, it's worth your time.
That's really exciting.
And if you like StarCraft 2, you like StarCraft 1. I promise you, it's impossible not to like both games if you just watch and try.
Please, listen, we're all trying to be better people. We're all working ourselves. Here's something you can do if you have a problem with this. Stop talking about which StarCraft's better. You don't need to do that. They're both the best RTS games ever made.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get... If you like one of these games, why would you not like the other?
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's like, I know you all love Artosis, but does that make you hate Tasteless?
Yeah,
no!
exactly.
He's good too!
Yeah.
He can be your second favorite caster. It's fine!
I'll take the silver medal. But you gotta check it out. And we actually haven't really casted StarCraft 1 in a little while, so this is gonna be fun. Yeah. So if you're watching this, definitely
check it out.
Yep.
Like, I actually guarantee if you spend a little bit of time, if you're a StarCraft 1 guy on StarCraft 2 or a StarCraft 2 guy on StarCraft 1, I promise you'll end up liking both games because they're both just brilliant games. They're the best two games ever made. It's crazy.
Exactly.
We're so lucky to be StarCraft fans. I feel bad for all these guys watching these other games.
You ever met somebody who doesn't even really play games and you're like, what's going on, man?
I know, right?
What's going on, buddy? You doing okay? You sure? Okay. I'm just saying.
Are you
lots of great stuff out there.
You really? Are you doing okay?
Yeah. If you say so, I'm just checking. I'm just asking. You doing okay?
Just worried about you.
Yeah. So 3-gate Warp Prism.
Yeah, that's a Chronoed Warp Prism, and this is on 2 base. I'm excited to see what he wants to do with this. Obviously, Dark already on 3 bases. Getting quite a few drones once again going into this +1. And he is getting a Roach Warren. So, that's going to be good defensively against this. Zest is mining quite a bit of gas. Okay, he's getting charged, but are we going to see a Templar, guys? Oh, okay. Okay, he's going to make his Nexus here. This is an expansion point, Tasteless, so he's going to make a Nexus C.
Damn, you're good, man. I mean, no one would think that you cast this game with a Magic 8 Ball or
He was chrono boosting the Prism, right? So I'm like, what is he doing? Because he doesn't have a Templar Archive, so and he's mining gas, so this isn't just a charge all in. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess he's making a Nexus and going to try to harass, and then I realized what that sounded like. I'm like, yeah, that's an expansion. He wants more minerals.
You gotta just go with it, man. So we have some of the Lings being tagged here. The fact that the Lings are so on top of this Warp Prism is going to make it a little bit difficult to actually get the Warp in, which might be all that really Dark has to do at this point in time.
Dude, the Prism might just be here to force Dark to make some units and play a little bit defensively. He's warping in his units at home, and he's taking a 3rd base. He's continuing to make probes and tech up. That's why I was confused about the Chrono Boost of the Warp Prism, right? Because it didn't seem like he was ready for it. And normally, you're always talking about, oh, he's making the Warp Prism, or, oh, he's making Banelings, right? And these are things that signal an upcoming attack.
Yeah.
But that's not the case this time, which is why I got confused about, oh, he's making a Nexus, because the way he made this look was like it was going to be an attack. So I feel like he might have, just done this as a kind of mind-gamey, little bit of a trick type thing. Oh.
Ooh.
Wow. I hope Sue's watching this, man.
Yeah, it turns out you can kill those things.
He would have drone drilled into it to try to kill it. And
he always gets caught by those.
He takes his drones from his 3rd and his natural and sends them up to try to kill it. It's like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Was one of those finals where he got caught by that thing like 5 times.
Oh, it's
We're like, well, that might be all you have to do to lose this GSL.
Yeah.
And I mean, that happened in just one game. He was caught that many times. Ooh. Dark's so good.
Can't wait to see who...
You realize how fast you have to be to actually do that before the Oracle kills it? Nothing kills anything faster in any game than an Oracle kills a worker.
Do you remember the Adepts on the ramp that died so quick that one time, when Adepts were still new?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was like the funniest thing. It was like a nuke had hit them or something. They just disappeared. Yeah. They just made me think of that because you were talking about how quick something died. I'm like, well, that wasn't an Oracle that killed those Adepts, so you're not completely right, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. They went away pretty fast. Well, we're going back into a pretty macro-y game. Zest not really putting a lot of pressure on. And that being said, this isn't like the same map as Game 2, so it might not be as easy to do it. But I just want to point out that if you really can't do much damage to Dark, you're going to have most likely a very hard time in the late game. So here comes that push. This is really important because Zest needs to get something of value with this push.
Dark is on 80 drones, sick creep spread, taking a 5th base. He's getting 2-1 upgrades in Bane speed. Like, he's got so much stuff right now. Zest, on the other hand, I kind of like this, right? He's got his High Templars in the Warp Prism, so Banelings can't hit them, so that's a step up from the previous game. And he's taking his 4th. He doesn't need to take his 5th as quickly as Dark does, but he's getting his Fleet Beacon. So I think from here he'll probably go directly into Carrier and just play that crazy late game. But Dark's very good at the crazy late game. I would give him second best at that crazy late game in Korea. And isn't it a funny world that we live in that I have to say in Korea now? Yeah. The foreign Zergs have gotten so good that I'm like, I don't want to get into details of the exact rank, but within Korea, I would say only Rogue is necessarily better, for sure better than Dark at that situation.
The non-Koreans are actually really catching up, and it's super exciting.
Yeah.
It's super cool to see. Because I really thought when StarCraft 2 first came out, it was going to be more of an even playing field, and then once we started to do GSL, I saw, okay, you give the Koreans a little bit of time, it's too much of a storied game, there's too much history in Korea with StarCraft that the non-Koreans still have some catching up to do.
But, so, this is going to just go to supreme late game. There's no stopping it now. No one's going to be able to kill each other for quite some time. Dark is actually making a lot of Lings and Banes, so he's probably going to like help to clear some of his supply and try to get some damage done, but I feel like Zest has enough that we're not going to see, significant damage dealt if he attacks, but if Zest attacks into this on creep, that's where things might not go well. He's going to warp in down there, huh?
Yeah, I was going to mention that there's a Warp Prism that's just tucked away down there. Why is it in that form down there? That's funny. So, Dark's going to come in. He's going to try to hit, it looks like, from multiple locations. So the Roaches are coming up here now, but there is a rally of units that seems to be going to the upper right quadrant.
Don't worry, this is Depth's got it.
Yeah, coming at me, bro. So, from here, I believe Dark has to actually attack. He's taking a 6th base, which is great, but he should try to attack in here and try to keep Protoss locked in that quadrant. So, also, hand has been tipped here. Zest showing the carriers. I think Dark probably already knew that was going to be coming no matter what, but he at least sees how many are out now.
And Dark's going double Spire, so he really wants to get those upgrades going. Of course, Zest already upgrading his air attack.
So Zest is setting a few Zealots out here to try to kill drones and basically just free up some supply.
Yeah.
There's always an excess of minerals when you get this far in StarCraft, so you try to spend some of that and just do something. Even if it doesn't do really anything, it's kind of okay, but some of these units you got earlier on, you don't need as much when you get to a later part in the game. We have 4 more Stargates coming up, Artosis.
Yeah, he needs to just go into supermass air at this point. He has to be careful, though. Okay, I'm glad that Phoenix was there for him, because I don't want this to end on Game 4. I want a Game 5 badly, regardless of who wins. But yeah, look, these Roaches he wants to get rid of. And eventually both of them are going to have to sacrifice a bunch of their units to get into their ultimate armies. Good old Abyssal Reef. This is an Abyssal Reef game for certain.
So we're going to have a pretty sick air fleet coming here from Zest. Now, the carriers...
Why did High Templars have attack?
So, it should be noted that even if Zest has an army that's going to be very, very, very difficult for Dark to deal with, he has to try to come out and do damage. When you see air tech like this, there's basically this period where Zest is saying, okay, I'm not dealing with the map right now. So, Dark, do whatever you want. I've got plans for you later on. But that's kind of a scary thing when you think about it against someone like Dark.
Yeah, he's scary when you've hurt his economy, but here he is on about 90 drones with as many bases as he likes. He's getting every upgrade in the game.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, he's going to get every single unit that he wants to have as well. Oh, these High Templars, come on. High Templars.
Okay, doing a little bit of damage here.
Yeah, the thing is, these few probe kills, it doesn't really matter. Like, Dark does want to lead off some of these. Wow, 17, okay. Well, that's where it starts to matter a bit more. But he's still got enough economy, he can kind of replace all this.
I was curious if those Banelings are actually going to commit.
Yeah.
So, when Protoss does move out, Zerg can be super reliant on counterattacking. How funny those are warp gates right now. There's this death animation on this map that you occasionally see if the Roach was just shot down by one unit, where it kind of just floats.
Yeah.
Like a dead guy in a river, just kind of floats away.
Tasteless has seen a lot of dead guys in rivers.
Seen a lot of dead nerds, man.
So what did you used to do for fun, Tasteless, as a child? You're like, well, I hung out under the docks.
That's right. So Dark is just steadily growing up. Now, Dark is getting a pretty impressive army of his own here. We have a lot of Broodlords. We have a lot of Infestors. Infestors are just in general quite good against air compositions, as they do bunch up in a way that ground units just can't. We also see the Dark Shrine coming up here. So that's basically the cherry on the cupcake.
Yeah, mass static D in all this. You know, the very fringe bases are where a lot of battles will probably happen. It's like those top 2 bases for Protoss are hard to take. For Dark, that one on the top right is not actually that hard. The very right hand, like this one that they're rolling through, but he hasn't taken it yet. He's focused on taking that bottom one a little bit earlier. We see actually more fights over that one generally. It's kind of interesting they took it earlier, but you were right that like Zest gets into this position where it's like, okay, well, you do whatever you want because I have to make this army now.
Yep. You can see actually a lot of these banelings being shaved off. I felt like it wouldn't look like that, but he got so many.
Yeah, it seems like carriers do a lot of damage.
Yeah, apparently. Whoa. Nice. Takes out 8 probes. Although I'd say overall not really a cost-effective trade.
Yeah. Look at this. Literally just all the upgrades. 20 more drones on the way, so he's going to go up to almost 100. A lot of these will probably be for colonies, but when you get into this situation, you can make way extra drones. You can mine with 100 drones and then just use them later, you know?
Turn them into spore crawlers later, Artosis.
Yeah. We already saw what spore crawlers can do in Game 1.
Spore crawlers don't cost supply, Artosis.
That's so crazy.
How about that? Mind exploded. So, we are now finally having the push here from Zest. At the 15-minute marker, he has amassed enough of an army. He's going to try to push out. We don't see really any counterattacking. We see one Ling like hitting a Nexus. That's the spot, not really to kill stuff. And Zest is basically hovering on the perimeter of Dark's territory, looking for an opening. And I will say, Dark being Dark has got a pretty, what looks to be impregnable base.
It's very tough because if he gets any Viper or Infestor spells off on your main units, he becomes very efficient.
Yeah.
But if you can kind of tag those units, if you can see what's coming and hit your feedbacks, well, there's nothing more efficient than feedbacking and killing a spellcaster with 50 mana. That's like the utmost of hey, I'm going to win.
Yeah, when you see what Zerg's doing here, it's kind of like this trapdoor spider play. You want to grab any expensive unit and pull it in, and it gets completely destroyed. And just, you know, be patient. So Protoss is built up to this moment. Every unit you see here costs a lot.
Yeah,
so,
except for
the
two stalkers.
Yeah, those are...
Why are those still here?
Yeah,
you just
that's,
get rid of those. It's like, oh, no, the stalkers are real tech.
Yeah.
You just wait.
The 2 stalkers pair well with the 4 Archons and the carriers.
And look at that, the Immortal as well. Send those units off to die, please. Make the perfect army. This is only almost perfect.
So this is actually a pretty smart angle to try to come in at, since the ground army can't really effectively get in there. But Zest is going to go ahead and back up. Now, I do want to point out, Dark is expanding to the bottom left, which is where Zest is not devoting any attention to. When you have an army like Zest, it's slow. It's scary, but it is slow. You can always kind of run away from it. You can always kind of expand away from it.
Yeah. But it's, you know, it becomes so deadly eventually. And I mean, it is pretty darn deadly right now. Okay, he's finally getting rid of these other units. Screw these units. Yeah, kill Spore. It's so funny at this point you're willing to trade these units for like 2 buildings. Early game that happens, like you lose all those units, killing a Spore, you're done. The game's over.
It's funny how, you know, an early game part of StarCraft, well, it's really a big deal if they lose, you know, for instance 2 at depths, but later on you'll just see, you know, 8 Zealots walk into a couple of spines and kill almost nothing, and it doesn't really mean anything because we're so late into this. Now, I think the fact that Zest neglected this bottom left location may come back to haunt him. He's going to try to come in here and attack this, but there's already so much static defense as well as these Infestors, which can keep just slowly chipping away.
Ooh,
okay, here we go.
See, that's really nice.
Like one runs out, he's like, get off of me!
Yeah. You made me think of a joke, though.
Yeah?
You want to hear my joke?
I do.
All right. So, 2 zealots walk into a bar.
Yeah.
Bartender says, "Oh my God, we're 18 minutes into the game. You don't have the charge upgrade."
That's pretty good, Artos. We're still waiting for Zest to actually, I think, initiate something. I feel like Zest got everything he wanted and is not really able to do much here.
Yeah,
I mean, he's kind of pushing down here, oh so late. I guarantee you Dark's going to expand over here at the upper right.
This gets pretty tough. Like,
I feel like Dark's
to attack into this much static D is very difficult.
Yeah. I feel like Dark's in one of these, or Zest is in one of these dreams where he's trying to get somewhere and he just never gets there, and right before he thinks he's going to get there, he's going to wake up and be out of the code S.
Well, a situation like this, again, if your opponent hits his spells, if the Zerg player hits his spells correctly, like your spellcasters are kind of to prevent his spells and to prevent a mass of corruptors killing your air units, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the Archons are anti-corruptor as well. But the Broodlords kind of keep those back, right? So that's kind of a big part of the zoning game that we see here. In this situation, I do wonder... Oh, okay. No, I like this. This is cool. He has the entire army over there, so he sends the mothership and recalls over on this side so he can actually kill a base.
Okay,
really
cool.
Stuff.
Now he's going to snipe this hatch.
Oh.
Ooh!
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, this was good.
Yep,
that was a really good move.
That was the play we were looking for.
He kills
guys,
2 broods. Moves like this are amazing, and we might see stuff like this all game long. He needs to start spreading out Nexus for recalls. I mean, I guess it takes a while, but...
Well, that was the play we were waiting to see happen. Now, I will point out, even though that was a good play, that expansion is almost mined out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess Dark's going to just try to reclaim it. And, you know, when you get into a situation like this, there's so much...
Where's that going?
Well, it's sort of the same idea, but he's not recalled as close. He's going to try to hit the bottom here.
Yeah, I like it.
Which I actually think
and then
the bottom
he can recall over here. This is sick, actually,
now,
having multiple recalls.
I want to point out, at the highest level of play, you have to ask yourself, is Dark just watching to see if the army's cloaked or not? Because if it's not, that should telegraph that in fact, that there's going to be another recall, and you should try to gear up for that.
Yeah, that could be.
By the way, look at this cheeky expo here. The far, far bottom left.
Well,
that might not be scouted.
One extra base makes a huge difference in a situation like this. Because a lot of these games go down to the very end, and then it'll be like, oh, Dark doesn't have any more gas left, and he's like making Zerglings.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
So I think he actually is going to see
also, the map, in a way, you kind of want to just mine out everything that you know you can get. Oh, that's a huge moment. That is huge.
Boom. See, Dark detected it. Really smart play. He says, okay, because that army's not cloaked, and there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way that he doesn't have that. So what's going on here? So he goes up there and just shuts that down, and now Zest is like, oh.
Yeah. And, I mean,
strategy.
It's a solid kill, but that probably isn't a game decider that you have to remake the mothership.
No, but I do think it actually puts Zest in a position where he's basically...
That move isn't going to work so much.
Ineffective. Yeah, I think that the kind of maneuvering of trying to out position the Zerg is at least trying that technique is not going to work. And I actually don't know what other techniques Zest has.
Well, one of the techniques would be to mine out your side of the map completely and then go for the Fist of Need. At which point, even if they hit their spells, maybe you can kill everything still.
Sure.
And for those of you who don't know, the Fist of Neeb is the ultimate Protoss army. 1 probe and 199 army supply, mostly carriers. And then obviously it'll have like a mothership, a lot of Psystorm, maybe a couple oracles.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what Neeb used to kill Rogue in a similar type of game at BlizzCon.
Now, are we going to see that? It should be pointed out, by the way, look how much minerals and gas both sides have.
Yeah.
You could lose your army several times over and remake it. This is going to be like the ending of Return of the Jedi, Artosis. I mean, there's just be so many battles going on.
Oh my gosh.
You realize that was, at the time, basically the most epic thing that was ever done. There was a battle on the third moon of Endor.
Yeah.
There was a battle in space.
Yeah.
With TIE fighters and X-Wings. there was Luke Skywalker fighting Darth Vader.
But do you admit that the drone battle in Episode 2 was better than that? Will you admit that publicly here on the GSL?
No, I will not.
You won't admit that?
I was not as much of a fan of the new Star Wars movies. Didn't do
Will
it for
you
me.
admit that Anakin was the greatest pod racer?
Okay, that one, check and made, yes. And he was so young, Artosis, when he was racing in that.
Well, his metachlorian count was crazy.
Can you believe they actually...
It was crazy.
They actually had to, like, explain how the... Oh, that was so sick.
Yeah, that's nice.
Can you believe they actually explained how the Force works? I'm like, you don't have to tell me. We don't need to break everything down, guys.
Well, I needed the science behind it, because I don't believe in hocus pocus.
Yeah, I mean, how do they have these spaceships so we can't explain how the Force works? Yeah. Uh-oh. This one cloaked Archon. Okay, he's trying it again.
Yeah, here we go. He's going to get this hatchery, but
wow.
The thing is, these moves, look, that's 300 minerals. Oh, 350, right? Okay, well, he's just going to make another one. And I don't know that we're going to see a full engagement for a while. You know, he's trying to lure him in, but neither player can fully commit into the other. Watch. Zest will turn around now. He can't stay here.
Yeah. Isn't it funny? See those interceptors slow down like that? Oh, we did it back inside.
Wait for us, Zest. Wait for us.
So, ooh. Okay, so he's acting like he wants to move away from here, but nuh-uh. He's going to probably use that as a point of real focus. Beautiful.
Now, there you go. This is the real value right there.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Look at those feedbacks from the Overseers that damage them slightly. You can't drop changelings now for a little bit.
I think that might have been enough damage that Dark is going to go for the jugular. He's actually going to just try to come in now. In fact, the interceptor, the carrier count is so low that there's not enough interceptors that the corruptors actually just kill them. And this is the play that Dark was waiting for. Dark is so patient.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll kill him here. He has to kill this whole army to really, truly kill him.
I'm sorry, where are the Overseers in this army? Are they just, like, not there?
Uh-oh. Okay, that's a pretty good recall, but... Oh, that's hilarious.
Isn't that funny how that looks?
Yeah, because I guess the recall started before he stole them.
Yeah.
Hey, are they permanently cloaked now? What's going on there?
Yeah, that was really weird. We'll get a shot of it in a second. This was the play that Dark needed to have. By the way, Dark is again expanded in the bottom left.
Oh, that's funny.
Look at that.
Do those just get to be cloaked for the rest of the game?
Did we just break the game? What does that mean? I guess it doesn't matter.
I think Zest right now is like, we should replay. This isn't fair for Dark. Dark's like, no, all your stuff can be cloaked.
Fine. You can have everything cloaked. You can have your whole base cloaked. I'm still going to win this game. Okay?
Oh, man. Wow.
Okay.
Well, he's going to kill off the Archons pretty quickly, the Broods and all, and that means that the Corruptors can do a lot of damage. You really do need extra splash damage. Oh, my God, he's got to get out of here.
All right. Well, we see that Zest is trying to remake everything. The sheer amount of damage that's coming out here should knock Zest out of this game. I mean, this is just too much. And let's also never forget the perma-cloaked carriers.
Yeah, I have not seen this, but so what happened is they were knurled after a recall was set on them, and they became the old Tempest, right? Originally, the Tempest was going to be just a blue carrier. I don't know if you recall this, but
yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Throwbacks, but yeah.
The counter. That was a lot of damage. Zest still has enough money that he can remake his bases. He can remake a bunch of army. His worker count is wicked low right now, though. Oh, no.
Oh, no. This is,
Can he see those? Yeah, I can see
that.
It's too bad they don't just
Look at the Corruptors. He's, like, actually just kind of moving them around as they're firing. He's like, get out, Zest. Okay. And goodbye, all your carriers.
If Corruptors have a /dance, now's the time.
Yep. He's kind of moving them like they're mutas in Brood War. Look at that.
Yeah, they move very fast. Well, Zest, I'm sorry. You're not going to win your third GSL. Not this season.
Not this time around, I'm afraid. And we don't have a shot of it right now, but there's a big push of Broodlords coming through the very middle of the map.
Do you think these Stalkers can hold him off, Tasis?
Yeah, he just needs a few more Artosis and he'll be fine.
Oh, gosh.
So, There's several ways that Dark can end this game, and it looks like the way he's going to choose to do it is to just push into the very main.
Just attack.
Okay, he was just waiting for these carriers to pop out.
Well, Dark very good at this late game situation.
GG.
All right.
Dark kind of winning in a way that really exhibits why he's the scariest late game player in the world. 3-1. Those are our results for the first best of 5. But do not get off the stream just yet. What are you doing? Some people, they're moving their mouse over the X. No. Hand off the mouse right now. We have another best of 5 to do.
Maru versus SOS. That is pretty exciting stuff. And I mean, Maru, the last Terran left in the tournament, the only one to make the round of 8. Did beat SOS in a best of 5 at Katowice.
That's right.
Very close, very awesome series. Can he do it again, though?
And this can only mean one thing. We have to interview Dark and see how he's feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we're going to do that right now. Dark interview hype.
Yay. That was a fun series. I enjoyed that.
Me too.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
네, 4강에 올라간 세 번째 주인공 2연속 4강에 성공한 박영우
we have
선수
our third
만나보겠습니다.
semifinalist.
축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
2 back-to-back semifinals
네, 먼저
for you, Dark.
2연속 4강
Congratulations. He
소감부터
says thanks.
들어볼게요.
How do you feel?
일단 기분이 좋고요. 2연속 4강이랑
First of all, I'm really happy.
16강 징크스랑 겹치지 않을까 좀 두렵긴
2
하네요.
consecutive
네, 얼굴 좀
semifinals.
땀이 맺혔네요. 마지막 세트 치열했던 이 후반 싸움.
I just hope this doesn't
어떠신지
become a curse
들어볼까요?
like the round of 16 curse.
일단 후반으로
I can see you're
흘러가면
sweating, Dark.
절대 안 진다는 생각을 갖고 왔기 때문에
네.
후반으로 갔을 때부터 이미
Tell us
4강
about those
올라갔다라고
games.
생각을 하고 있었고요.
아,
So, if we go to the late game, I'm confident.
실수를 좀 해주셔가지고
네.
I know I can win in late
이길 수
game.
있었던 것 같아요.
Whenever the
네,
game goes
역시
on long
후반
enough.
블락 운영하면
So,
박명우 선수인
that
것
was my main
같습니다.
mindset.
사실 오늘 경기 1세트부터 기분 좋게 잡았던 것이 큰 의미가 또 있는 것 같아요. 바퀴 여왕 러쉬. 사실 그게 뚫을 수 있을지 몰랐었거든요. 그게 뚫린 각이었습니까?
So on the first map, you did that
저도
Roach
짤막했다
Queen Rush.
생각하고 있었거든요.
I didn't
사실
expect it to work.
컴퓨터랑만
What were you
하고
thinking when that was
와가지고
happening?
무조건
So I
통한다는
didn't really know what to
생각은 없었는데
expect. It's just one of the builds I had
너무
prepped.
쉽게 막힐 것 같아가지고
I actually-
괜히 썼나
I
싶었는데
actually practiced it mostly against an
좀
AI.
있게 뚫어낸 것 같아요.
와, 이 주성 선수의 방패를
I just felt if I could keep
결국
pushing, there's a high
진영으로
chance I can
정말
actually break him.
의지만으로
Did Dark just leak that
뚫어버리시더라고요.
DeepMind is his
정말
practice partner?
자, 그런데 참 박영우 선수가 토스전을 어떻게 생각하시는지가 궁금해요. 2세트 상대가 12관문에서
so I
경기
was
뽑아내가지고
wondering
오는데 정말 배를 엄청
how
많이
you prepped
불리시더라고요.
and how
이건
you
거의
develop
한
your
끼 식사쯤으로
concepts against
생각해야
Protoss.
그렇게 여유 있게 미래를 준비하실 것 같은데
It
토스전이
seems like
거의
you're
한
really
끼
aggressive
식사입니까?
with expanding. Can you tell us about that?
사실
네,
제가 그 타이밍에
네,
바퀴만 엄청 찍었으면 막았을 것 같은데
네.
너무 후반을 본 게 좀
네.
배가 터졌더라고요. 너무
아니,
돌리다가.
양심이.
So, Honestly, I'm just
양심이
focusing on
없었던
trying to get to the late game.
자, 확실히 토스전에
I
대한
would rather just
자신감이
produce a
엿볼 수
lot of
있었던
roaches.
세트였던
And
것
if,
같네요. 자, 그런데
excuse me, and I was just,
저번에
that's all I can
좀
say is I'm
굉장히
just trying to get
아쉬운
in the late
결과였을
game.
것 같아요. 이 정도 실력으로 토스에게
So we just had the
졌잖아요.
Intel Extreme Masters World
그때는
Championship.
좀
네.
미완성이었던 것 같아요.
You were
자신도
eliminated
별로
against a
없고.
Protoss. You must have been pretty disappointed about that.
자신감을 좀 갖고 와가지고
네.
무조건 이긴다는 생각으로
Yeah,
네,
I had a lot of regrets
어쨌든
after I
GSL에는 청신호가 켜졌습니다.
especially
다음
losing to
4강
Protoss.
상대는 이제 또 조성주 선수 혹은
That really
김민기
motivated
선수,
me
진에어 그리니스
to,
친구들을 만나게 될
to get
거예요.
better against that
어떠세요?
race.
성주가 왔으면 좋겠어요.
So in the semifinals,
별명
you're going to
있잖아요.
face off against one of the 2 Jin Air players. Do you have any preference?
네.
Honestly, I want to face off against Maru.
하고 싶네요.
아니 본인이 그 징크스의 아픔을
He's
누구보다
got
잘
certain
아시면서
for
네,
Maru.
조성주 선수를 만나고 싶다 이야기를 하셨습니다. 자, 지난 시즌 정말 아쉽게
he also thinks Maru could make
결승에
it further than the
올라가지
semifinals.
못했습니다.
Maru
아직
never
명경기만
makes it
하시고
past the semifinals.
결승을 놓쳤는데 이번 시즌 4강 각오 들어볼게요.
항상 좀 명경기를 하면은
So anything you want to say before we close this out?
보여주는 것 같아요. 제가 만들기만 만들고 이기진 못하거든요. 근데 이번에는 꼭 명경기도 만들고
So I know I'm always having these crazy matches against everybody.
네,
But
이번
I'm
시즌은
sorry I
박명우
wasn't able to make
선수가
it to the
결승
finals
진출에
at IEF.
성공할지 지켜보도록 하겠습니다.
I'm going to
다시
show you
한번
guys
사강
some
진출
masterpiece
축하드립니다.
games coming up. Cheer for me.
네, 이렇게 세
Congratulations, thank
번째
you.
4강의
We
주인공
did it.
박명우 선수 만나봤는데요. 계속해서
A
GSL
bump, a
이벤트
bump, a bump.
소개해드립니다.
So,
Another cast bites dust.
먼저 치어프
3
이벤트입니다.
players
김예진의
in the round of
선택을
4.
받은
Yeah.
분께
How many do we have left?
I think that leaves only one.
That's
My
right.
math is correct. That was a great series. I think honestly, Zest had to be a little bit more aggressive.
I knew that was going to be a hard map. Like his late game isn't up to snuff on a map like that, so it's tough.
By the way, we've been informed to keep the tickets. If you're in the studio, we have a giveaway, a raffle at the very end. So do the right thing.
Yeah. Your tickets are also raffle tickets.
We're going to go to a break. We come back, our last best of 5 for tonight's GSL Code S.